from someone visiting like a shareware website we're getting a lot of hits from. It's a very popular website that was SQL injection. Looks like they only hit their request password field page, or they missed that page because we keep getting all these refers from that page. So we're also doing this with malicious domains where, like for example, the Black Energy stuff or the people who are stealing credentials, we're registering those domains. So this kind of is an interesting project. We're still in like the preliminary stages. It helps twofold. One, if you register it, the bad guys can't, so we don't have to worry about them going back and kind of reverting to their old ways, which they could easily do. And the second one is it allows us to continue our research into who's infected. It gives us a real count of who's infected, and it allows us to report back out this data to let people know, hey, machines in your organization are affected. So if we see, example, a government institution or some other country, they have someone who's trying to phone in and send off keylog data, well, we record all that information, we're able to report it back to them. And right now we're trying to find different ways that get more servers involved and get more people to participate with different domains they might be able to help out with. It's a fairly interesting project and it's still in its early phases. But it's definitely one that's worth looking at. So other than that, I thank you for listening. You're welcome to, if we have time for questions, you can ask me now or grab me later, or feel free to shoot me an email. Thank you. So questions?
Was there any demographic information for the zombies that were involved in the Georgia incident?
On the, all right, is this thing on?
Yeah,
hello?
it's on.
You hear me? All right. On the Georgian ones, for those, we don't have that information. We actually didn't use our little exploit I showed you. We didn't go and use it and log in, although I guess we easily could have. So we don't really know. From what we've seen, the one page is kind of a good. It may not be a good indicator of these, but it kind of ran the. Oops, sorry. I'm gonna go back a little further. Like on this one, you see on here, their top two sets are unknown in India, and that was one that was based out of. It moved to Ukraine and stuff later. It's one that's popular with Russia. It seems to really vary. It might just depend on where they've compromised the server and who they can heavily target with their traffic. Other questions? Everything is
Just thinking historically on this, going back to Solidarity, which was, I don't know if you were alive back then, but
So it's okay that I don't know what you're talking about exactly?
Well, no, but I mean when the wall was coming down and when the polls were Solidarity movement, they found that by using the computer networks in the universities, they couldn't be shut down. They could keep communicating. They could keep command and control running for what we would have thought was a good organization. So now you're seeing Estonia and then you're seeing Georgia. What's the assessment of the impact that the Georgia attack had on Georgia or any of those organizations in Georgia being able to do their business, do their command and control? And does this have any forward-looking thoughts for us, industry, whatever? Are we seeing something weaponized that might be then turned against a business? I know the story is a lot of these gambling sites at some point have to pay to not get a DDoS. So what's your thoughts about Georgia?
So Georgia, I don't know exactly. I know that I've heard some people from Georgia speak on that. So it's a website. It's more, in some cases, more, I would say, kind of an embarrassment than it is like. I mean, how often do you go to whitehouse.gov and get your information on a daily basis that would cripple you if you didn't have it? It might be similar along those lines. It's more of an embarrassment. Obviously, people want their websites to be up, and there are people who go to it and use that information. They can't get to it. But I'd say it's probably more at least in the Georgian case, I don't think it was as critical to them doing their day-to-day operations. Whereas I think, don't quote me on that, but in Estonia, I think it had a little bit more of an effect, but some of the same thing. I think varying depending on what went down and what wasn't. And then, of course, with the gambling attacks, we see them hitting a lot of them. We suspect extortion may or may not be part of the theme behind it. Why do you go and attack several different gambling websites for days on end? Several different ones, like it was in like hundreds in some cases, unless you're trying some extortion attempt. They also hit other different businesses. So that seems to be a motive. We haven't been able to get anyone to say yes, we were extorted, but it definitely is an economic loss, a realizable number to several of those organizations that were down for hours or days, where they can't take people to sign up, they can't take deposits. So in several of those cases, they lost a substantial amount of money.
Any other questions? Great, so that was excellent. A couple of quick announcements before everybody kind of leaves the room. Lunch is going to be served, box lunch. I think you got to line up in the vendor area. You'll see they're kind of against the wall over there. And that box lunch is not served until 12, so you have a few minutes. You can also go out and get your own lunch because there's no actual talk between 12 and 1 to give you time for lunch, so it's up to you. In addition to that, I think Capture the Flag, if you guys are interested in that live hacking competition, the registration is going to happen right up on the mezzanine here. So look for the registration there. And in addition to that, I just wanted to mention that everybody in their bag has a blue ball. And that blue ball is to be used to throw at a speaker if you feel that their content is irrelevant or something, they're not a good speaker, you don't like them. That's really what the ball is used for. So.
Or a commercial spin, because all of the vendors' talks are supposed to be vendor neutral. They're called bullshit balls. Feel free to throw them at friends and speakers.
I just let you know my feelings weren't hurt in any way.
So, yeah, exactly. No, that was a great talk. But okay, so we'll see you guys in about an hour or so, and enjoy your lunch.